What's up, everybody? This is Round by Round. This is Derek and Daniel. We're back at it again. Part four of my four-part series on periodization of strength, pyramid building of strength and skill. So, just a quick recap on all that. Okay, you got your base of the pyramid, cardiovascular fitness. Then you got the third part, the body of the pyramid, I guess you could say, the majority of it, which would be your skill, whatever skill you practice. Okay, and for our case, we would use boxing as an example of that. So the third level of the pyramid, which will be a little bit smaller, is your muscle endurance, your calisthenics, GPP work, all that stuff. And now to the final part, the tip of the pyramid, it's going to be your overall strength. All right, your ability to produce force. Okay, so Daniel, in your own words, tell me what you believe strength is. What is
I
it?
think strength has to deal with the ability to do more force. Like in a punch, your pressure punch would be a lot higher. Your bench, your squats would be a lot heavier. You'd be a lot stronger physically and mentally.
Okay, hold on. So here's it. Oh, answer me this question right here. All right. Why do you think it is that steroids are bad? Why do you think steroids are looked down upon? Why do you
Well,
think that is?
because
Other than being dangerous, but how are steroids make it other dangerous for other fighters? How would a steroid, me taking a steroid, how would that make me more dangerous towards you who's not taking steroids? How would that make me more dangerous?
that would make you more of an artificial fighter.
Artificial, and what part of that fighter is artificial?
Like the part where he's adding on to the muscle ability that he wouldn't be able to create in that certain amount of time, or
So you think he would
that
be
amount of strength without
strength?
steroids. Like
So
he
y-
would have not been able to
so
obtain it.
so someone on steroids has gotten a lot stronger than someone. So would you say someone taking steroids is a lot stronger than someone who's not taking steroids?
Yeah, I would say they would get a little bit stronger because it would push them into another level that they thought wasn't capable of unless they had steroids.
Yeah. So pretty much steroids is making these individuals grow bigger and stronger, right?
Yeah, well, you can get to that without the steroids, but it's like a shortcut. It's like an easy way
Okay.
up there.
So what if I told you that? What if I told you if you take your squat, deadlift, row, overhead press, weighted dip, and weighted pull up, and you did as much weight as possible on all six of those movements, what would you say if I told you that would give you the same effect? It would take much longer, like you said, much longer, years longer. I would say it would take you about 10 years to get phenomenal numbers, like I'll just like 600-pound deadlift. I'll say 500-pound deadlift, 400-pound squat, a 300-pound bench press, a 200 plus pound overhead press, you know, at least 3 plates on your weighted pull up, at least 4 plates on your weighted dip, like numbers like that. All right, that would take you years, but what that's gonna do for you is gonna make you much bigger and much stronger on everything you do. So if you've been practicing your skills, your striking, all your punches for years and years and years, and you keep your skills on those punches very sharp, you keep practicing like you've been doing for all these years. Now you add weight training sessions. And these weight training sessions are going to, in the long run, going to make you bigger and they're going to make you stronger. So what that's going to do is it's going to increase the force, your force output to much more. So those punches are going to be a lot harder, a lot more solid. Trade off to that is you're going to be heavier too. But now if you can stay lean and trim as much fat off your body as possible, you'll still be relatively light.
And
You-
that just comes natural for me, I think. Like,
Oh yeah.
so I think just gaining size would be the only issue for me right now.
Just the patience part of it. You know what I mean? Like it takes a lot. It takes patience to gain strength and size. Strength and size is gonna stay, because once you unlock a level of strength, it's almost impossible to go backwards to where you were at before. Like you'll never go back to what you were at when you first started. It'll always be somewhere in the middle. And the further you push that envelope, the further you push that number higher, the more weight you could put on these exercises. Well, okay, now if 2 years go by, a year go by, and I haven't done them, you're gonna drop back to a number that's still pretty big. You know what I mean? Like let's say if I can bench press 300 pounds, and I don't bench press for a year, it's safe to say I could still hit 250. I could still hit 250 on the bench press. Same thing for the squat. If I squatted 400 before, and I don't squat for a year or two, it's safe to say when I go back to squatting, I'll be high 200s and maybe low 300s when I get back into squatting. Just from the first month back. Because that strength never goes away. It takes, just like it takes years to build it, it takes years to lose it. But it takes more years to lose it than it does to build it, if that makes sense. Your first year, if it's done correctly, you're going to put on the most. Maybe like half the gains you'll get in your lifetime in your first year. And then after that, everything is super, super slow. It's just like a process of aging, like fine wine. You know what I mean? Like, you just really have to grind out all the reps and sets and be very consistent with it, and that's something that you'll never lose. You'll be an old man, be able to walk around as healthy as can be because you're still going to have muscle mass that hasn't been taken away from you through Father Time yet. You know what I mean? Like you have more muscle mass on you, so now when you get older and death becomes closer and everything, all your senses start to die down.
That's why the people who start, who don't work and they stay home all day, their
body breaks down.
Their body just breaks down because they're not going to a job. Just going to a job, like having to get up early in the morning, walk around at work.
That's why you see all these, man, like, dude, I work in the Mosaic Mines, and there's old people everywhere, dude. Like, I'm talking about old people, man. Like, these fools got to be in their 70s, man. They're probably in their 60s. They just look like they're in their 70s, but they look old, man. Like, and you know, it's crazy because it's like, man, I bet you he's been here for Lord knows how many years, man. Like, however long Mosaic's been around, and he just seen just about everything, dude. You know what I mean? Like, and he's just like an old guy. He's walking around here, and he's still able to do that because he's been doing it for so long. You know, like, the motion is lotion when it comes to your joints and your body, and the more you move, and the more momentum you have moving forward, and that, it just stays.
I think the award for them for staying so active in work, it progresses them into getting the big bucks, right? You agree?
Yeah.
All the people in Mosaic, I'm sure, at 60 are making some good money, right?
Oh, yeah. Heck yeah, dude. You know they are. Yeah, dude. That's a whole different topic, man. We can go on about that topic. But back to the topic of strength. We kind of veered off there. But when it comes to building strength, it's very taxing on your body. It's going to require a lot of calories. You know what I mean? And it's going to want those calories to grow and stuff. All right? But the thing is, it's expensive, but, man, it lasts, man. Once you have it, it just lasts. It's something that, you know what I mean? Like, it's built slowly, and it's built right, you know what I mean? Because, like, if you've noticed, man, like, if you stop running for, like, a week or two, you start losing the ability to run. Like, you have to stay on it, you know? You lose it quick, but you can get it back quick. But it's always good to just have the ability, you know what I mean? That's my opinion, especially if you're training. But that, you can build it up so quick and you can lose it so quick. Strength, you can't build it up nearly as quick, dude. It takes years. All right? But once you have it, like I said, it'll take even more years to lose it. So it's just it's a great asset to have, man. It does make everything else easier just because you're just so much stronger. You know what I mean? It's hard to put it in words when it's just something that you feel. You know what I mean? It's a different feeling. Like, you just interact with your environment better. You know what I mean? Everything else just feels lighter, and it's just hard to explain that when you're doing your muscle endurance workouts, when you're in there boxing, it just feels easier because you have more. You're moving with more force, I guess. What do you think?